All right, hey everybody, and welcome to Zenfolio Live. I'm Robert with Zenfolio Customer Success. Wow, my mic's a little low. I'm Robert with Zenfolio Customer Success. I want to say thanks for joining us on the live stream today. We're going to be talking about BookMe, Zenfolio's new calendar-based booking tool. I know you guys are super excited about that. Hey, if this is your first time joining us, make sure you say hi to us in the chat. Let us know where you're from. Let's see, Kathleen Riley's hanging out with us already saying hi. We got Roxanne Bay, Christina Bell, Tara Castillo. Let's see who else we got in here. Brenda, Jennifer, Lynn, and Celis and CEC. So thank you guys for jumping on here and hanging out with us. Like I said, we're going to be talking about the new calendar-based booking tool. We've actually got a guest who's going to be helping us out here in just a few minutes. We're going to go through how you set up your profile, how to create a service, the BookMe customization, how to activate this, and then how to start accepting bookings. Now, hanging out with me today, taking care of you guys in chat, I've got Dennis. So make sure that you guys show Dennis some love. He always does a great job helping me out, taking your guys' questions, and helping me out. All right, let's see today's announcements. BookMe, we have a limited time offer. I'm going to let our guests talk about that a little bit more, but just know you guys that there is a limited time offer for the new BookMe add-on that you guys are definitely going to want to check out. And then also the Father's Day campaign is coming up. So if you guys have ever participated in Zenfolio's free client marketing before, this is one of those marketing pushes that we do for you guys. So you want to make sure that you check it out. There will be a link to the description of that and some information in the description of the video later on. I didn't get a chance to get it up before we started. And then as always, you guys, we are continuing with our challenge to post something positive daily on your social media. As photographers, right, we have a responsibility to surface the side of humanity that we want to see and share. So make sure that you guys are sharing your beautiful photos, making people smile, bringing some positivity out there onto social media because we know that it needs it. All right, we're going to go ahead and jump right into this. So I want to introduce you guys to, and let's make sure that the cameras are on, to Katie. So this is Katie. She is our senior product manager, and she is going to be taking you guys through and showing you BookMe. So go ahead, Katie, and take it away.
All right. Well, thank you so much. It's a tough act to follow, but I'll give it my best shot here. So today I'm going to be introducing you to BookMe. It is a brand new, highly requested feature that we've had for many years. And so we are excited to finally have it launched and visible for all of you to be able to add on to your accounts. And today we're going to be just walking through the setup, kind of as Robert touched on there. And I'll walk through the details. But what I first wanted to just mention are a few of the features. So one of them is that with BookMe, you can take bookings 24/7. You can also create customized shoot packages, which those we'll walk through. And then you can instantly collect deposits and payments. And because it syncs to your Google Calendar, customers will actually be able to book you in real time and automatically show if you are unavailable for certain dates and times and only reveal availability for what you do have open. So without further ado, we'll take a look here. Let me go into, first thing that I'm going to do is just show you inside of your Zenfolio account where you can actually find BookMe. So it's under our add-on plans. You can also find that from any place on the home page, which I'll go back here in just a moment. From the home page, we have several different places that will take you into BookMe for the add-ons, and I'll touch on those in just a moment. But as far as the special promotion that we have, we'll mention it at the end of the call here too, but we are running a special right now where it's 99 cents a month for the first 3 months, and then it's $10 a month thereafter. And we also have a killer deal. If you're up for a yearly plan, it's $48 for the first year and $96 thereafter. So that's a 50% savings. All right, let's go back here to my Zenfolio homepage. So you'll see just on my dashboard here, you'll notice that we have a little icon for BookMe over in the corner. You'll also see, if you haven't added it on yet, there will be a banner at the top of the page. And then you can also see it in the drop down here under orders. You also see it in the drop down under selling. So a couple different places you can find it, but let's dive right in and take a look at the setup. All right. And we try to make the setup as easy as possible to get up and running and get it added to your website very quickly. So to walk through the first steps here, we're going to walk through setting up your profile. So you'll notice here we kind of have a welcome wizard that's going to walk you through being able to see what you need to do for completing your profile. So we'll look here that you can see we're going to enter a primary address, set up bookable hours. We're going to confirm our contact information, and then we'll connect with Stripe to be able to start accepting payments. And then the second step here will be creating a service. And for that, we just need to create and enable at least one service. So let's start off with completing our profile. And we'll just walk through these. So the first thing we're going to do is enter a primary address. So something to keep in mind, maybe you're a photographer that doesn't have a studio and you only shoot on location, then you would use your primary address, if that's your home address. If you have a studio, then you would use that. If you have a studio, you will have the option when you're setting up a service to be able to say that it's going to either be at your studio or maybe it's going to be on location. So for the photographers that don't have a studio location, enter in your home address here, and that's just going to give you the radius in which your clients will be able to book. And that will make a little more sense as we kind of continue on here. But let me go ahead and just start out. We'll just enter an address here. So I'm going to go ahead and set my primary location, and then I'll click on Save. Now I'm going to set up my availability. So you can sync your calendar with Google and to let us know what your availability is. We will automatically block off any dates that you already have blocked off on your calendar. And then, of course, if you get bookings through BookMe, we'll also block those off so you don't end up with any double bookings. And we are not synced right now to Apple iCloud. However, we do give you the instructions on how to link your account to Google Calendar and be able to feed that in here. So we'll just do a quick connect here. And I will set up my Zenfolio account. And I'm going to go ahead and accept. I'm going to allow Zenfolio to access, or for BookMe to access my Google account. And then it'll go ahead and process this request. And I'm just going to get a confirmation here that you'll see that will pop up. And my confirmation is just saying that, do I agree? And I'm aware that the appointments booked through BookMe will appear on this calendar. I also know that events created on this calendar will show me as unavailable during those times for bookings. So I'm going to go ahead and say yes and save this. And now I can see that my calendar is connected. So now my calendar is connected. The next thing that I'm going to do is set up my global bookable hours. So I'm going to let BookMe know between what hours and which days of the week people can book my services. So we have two different types of availability. So this is our global availability, and then we'll also show you availability on a service level. But for right now, let's say that I have hours, maybe I'm going to work from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And if I wanted to apply that to every day of the week, I can go ahead and save that. If I actually am like, you know what? I don't want to work on Sunday, and maybe for my global availability, I don't want to work on Saturdays. I'm going to just save my global availability for Monday through Friday. But when I set up a service, maybe I'll set that up for a Saturday. So I'm going to go ahead and save these changes. And now I can also determine, and actually one more thing I want to show you about global bookable hours. I can also, if I wanted to say, I wanted to set up like morning, let's just change this to say my hours are going to be from 9 a.m. to maybe noon on Mondays, and then I want like an hour lunch break in there. I can change this then from 1 until 5 p.m. So I can add as many time slots here as I want, but for right now, we'll just leave that for Monday. And then how many photo shoots do I want to book each day? So this is looking at all the services that you provide overall and how many total shoots do you want in a day. So I can choose what my maximum is here. For right now, let's just say I only want to do 4 photo shoots in a day, doing something like mini sessions, and obviously that would be a higher number. How much time do you need in between photo shoots? Right now it's defaulted to just 1 hour, but I can change that to a half hour, or I could go all the way down to no time in between. But since this is my global availability, I'm going to set an hour in between photo shoots. So that's going to add padding 1 hour before my shoot and 1 hour after the shoot. So that allows me either prep time to be able to get set up for the session, or travel time getting there, or breaking down and traveling back. So you get to determine what that might be. Go ahead and save these changes. And now we're on to our contact information. So I'll just put in my info in here, and our business name today is White Gold Photography, and we'll put in some contact info. Great. All right, so now we set our contact information. This will automatically pull from your Zenfolio account. You can obviously make any changes to it if you want, and then I can go ahead and save these changes. So as far as collecting payments, we partner with Stripe, one of the leading online payment platforms used by millions of businesses. Payments made on BookMe using Stripe will be delivered to your bank account or your debit card associated within 3 to 5 business days. We use simple, transparent pricing. It's 2.9% plus 30 cents per transaction. Stripe does not have any setup fees, monthly fees, or hidden fees, and Zenfolio does not charge a commission on those transactions. For some people out there that might say, well, I might accept credit cards, but right now I accept a lot of payments in person. That's fine. I'll show you the flexibility that we have when you're creating a service and how you want to accept those payments. You do need to connect to Stripe if you are going to have, credit card payments at any point in the future, and it is a requirement to set up your BookMe account. So in this case, I would click on Connect with Stripe. I'll just show you really quickly what this looks like. And it's just going to walk you through setup. There's 5 screens that you'll walk through in setting this up. I'm not going to do it in real time here because it is going to ask me for my bank information. As much as I love everyone that's on this, I want to make sure that I keep that private. So I'll be able to skip ahead to show a different screen that shows this being completed in just a few minutes here. So for right now, normally I would just walk through these. It takes maybe 2 minutes to enter your information. Once you've done that, you'll get a notification that Stripe has been set up, and then you can finish your setup here. So we will pretend for the moment that I've gone ahead and finished my Stripe setup. And then the next thing that I'm going to do here is set up my services. So for my services, by default, we've given you 4 services just to get started really quickly. And you can either modify these default services or you can create your own. But it's just to give you a little bit of variety and then also kind of point you in the right direction. Now, the order of these services will be the same that the order of these services will be the same as what your clients see on their website. So here we can see that the shoot type is a wedding. This service is actually a consultation. There is no cost to this consultation. It's going to last an hour, and it's going to be at my primary location, which in this case could be my studio location, let's say. But I can change that location. I can change the duration. I can change the price. All of this can be edited. And then I can see that I have a family session, and then I also have an engagement session and event. So these are by default, they are added to your account. If you do not want them, you can delete them or you can edit them. You will notice here that they are disabled. So once they are enabled, then you would be able to see them on your website. But let's just create a service from scratch just to give you an idea of what that looks like. All right, so now we're going to create a service. This service is going to be any type of package you offer. So it could be maybe you do senior portrait sessions or maybe family sessions. Maybe you offer wedding packages. So we're going to start off. I'm just going to choose family portrait session. So let's say I'm creating a service. This is going to be, the shoot type is a family session. And let's say that I am going to choose, this is going to be, let's call this a summer family portrait, right? So I'm going to do summer family portraits, and let's say my session sitting fee is $200, and let's say that this one's going to be a 1 hour session, so I'll select an hour. And I do want to note here, so you can see that I've added $200. I have several different options when it comes to how do I want to collect these payments. So I can choose collect no payment at the time of booking, but collect the full amount later. So let's say that at the time of booking, I don't want them to pay anything, but I want them to pay me, in person later. I can select that option, and then you'll notice that I have different options for how I want to collect that full payment. So I can say I want to collect that on the day of the shoot, or before or after the shoot. I can modify these, or I can send this invoice manually or collect that payment in person. So if you choose one of the first two options, an invoice will be sent to them to automatically pay online using your Stripe account. And if you choose the third option here, then it would be up to you to either manually send them the invoice to pay online or collect the payment in person. And that's obviously up to you. So a few different options. You'll notice here I can also say I want to collect the payment, the full amount at the time of booking. Or I can say, oh, you know what, actually, I'm going to collect a partial payment at the time of booking and the remainder later. So maybe you take, $100 at the time that they book and the rest is due. You get to determine, you could say, I actually take that second payment here 7 days before the shoot. Okay, so lots of flexibility in how you want to charge. One other thing I do want to show is that if I do put in 0, you'll notice that the pricing options below fade away, and that is because you're charging this. There is no charge for this service, so those pricing options go away. As soon as I enter a value back into here, we'll see that those come back. Okay. For the moment, I'm going to actually select collect no payment at the time of booking, but collect the full amount later, and I'll show you how that's going to work. For service availability, you will see that my service is available during global bookable hours. So you remember during the setup just a few minutes ago, we added global bookable hours. I can leave that as my availability. But let's say that I say, you know what, like global bookable hours were Monday through Friday, but I want to add a weekend in there. And maybe I also really only want to do family sessions. I don't want to do a family session at noon, on a Tuesday. I want to either do it early in the morning or late in the evening. So let's set that up. So by default, it's global bookable hours, but I'm going to say, let's actually set custom availability. So I'm going to add a time slot. I'm going to pretend like I'm an early riser. I'm not. But we'll go ahead and set a time slot here for 7 a.m. And maybe my availability, I only want to show from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., get that really nice light in the morning. And then I also want to change and I want to say, okay, I want a second time slot and I want to be available from 5 p.m. to, let's say, 8 p.m. Okay? So now I'm setting up that availability. I'm going to apply this to all days just to save myself some time here. But I like to reserve my Sundays for my family, so I'm not going to shoot on Sunday. So I'll just remove that. So now we can see that I'm available during these times. You also could change, let's say on Saturday, I want to be open Saturday morning, but have a lot of fun on Saturday nights, and I don't want to shoot on Saturday night unless it's like a wedding or something. So I can change my availability here. So you can see how flexible setting up your service availability can be. Now, also, if you remember, I said that this is going to be for summer portraits, right? I only want to offer these, and I picked times that I know. I live in Colorado, and I know that those are the best times from 5 to 8 to shoot that kind of golden light in Colorado. But it might be different, obviously, in the winter. By 8 p.m., it's dark. So I'm going to say for my summer dates here, as we're starting to come out of COVID and doing a little bit more photography, let's say that I'm going to start this right after Memorial Day. So I'm going to, I think that's Memorial Day, we'll guess. And then I'm going to go all the way through, let's say, we'll say roughly like when kids head back to school. I'll just throw that out there through the 15th. So I'm going to save my availability. And you'll notice now I can see the 2 different time slots that I set up Monday through Saturday, except for Saturday only has 1 time slot. And I can also see my availability is now from May 25th through August 15th. Same rules apply if I wanted to offer, let's say, mini sessions, and I only wanted to offer them. I was doing Mother's Day mini sessions, and I wanted to do them this Saturday. Then I could set my availability just for this Saturday and, do them from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Okay? All right. Next thing is, what is the photo shoot location going to be, or where is it going to be? So I can set my primary location, which you would use, as we were talking about, studio location, or if you'd enter your home address, it would have your home address. You don't want to share your home address because you don't have a studio. Then you would be setting the client's location within a certain radius from your primary location. So let's say I had used a Littleton address. Let's say I lived in Littleton, Colorado, but I was like, I'm willing to shoot anywhere in the Denver metro area, which is roughly, let's say, a 20-mile radius. I'm going to set that radius so any client can book within inside of that radius. And now I'm going to give a brief description of what the clients will get. So we might say like personalized online gallery. They might get a, let's say this comes with 10 digitally retouched images. You get the idea. You can add whatever details. You might be up to 1 hour of coverage. You can put anything in here. If you did, let's say, newborn photography, you could put that you provide all props. Maybe this session includes siblings and parents. Maybe it doesn't. So those are the kind of details that you want to put in here. But if you need a reminder of what that looks like, you can hover over the little tooltip, and it will show you examples here. So like senior portrait includes 30 beautifully edited images, 3 alpha changes, hair and makeup, and 2 additional subjects. So it kind of gives you what to expect on your website and what it will look like inside of BookMe. All right, so now we're in the final step here, and I'm talking through a lot of this, but I will say once you set up one, or if you modify the default services we've already provided, you'll fly right through this. It goes really fast. So now for additional settings, I'm going to enable the comment field to allow my clients to add notes about the session. So they might say, hey, I have a 7 and a 9-year-old, and we're going to bring our brand new puppy, and can you give us any tips on what to wear? Maybe that'd be what their comment. As far as name, phone number, location, like email, all of those are always checked and asked for at checkout. So you will always get that information. This is just kind of a bonus note field for the client. And then for reservations, this is also optional. I can choose if I want to approve this booking before the deposit or payment is processed. So if I choose this, it will be written to my calendar and it will hold that time. But the payment will not be processed until it is approved or declined, okay? So for this, we'll go ahead and save. So I've now created a new service. I can see my service here. I can see that it is enabled, and it all looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and say that looks good. Then next we're going to go into customize. So I can see just a glimpse of what this would look like on my website. So this is what BookMe looks like when it's expanded here. The booking button has been clicked on. And maybe I say, well, I really want to customize these colors. I use actually this bright blue on my website. So you'll see in real time what it would change to on your website. And of course, you can put in the hex code if you know that. As creatives, most of us know our branding. So we'll go ahead and save this change. And then I can also change the button placement. By default, buttons are usually in the bottom right-hand corner, but depending on how you have your website designed, that might not be the best place for you. So you can choose to have it on center placement or left. And if I save that and look back at the design, I can see that it has moved. Okay. All right. Last but not least here, we'll be activating our account. So you'll notice that I cannot activate my account because I'm not connected my Stripe account. So this is where I'm going to bring in another screen so we can get past that. But once I connect to Stripe, then I would actually see this screen. Robert, am I okay on size here, bringing in that screen? Right on. Okay. Let me modify just a touch. Okay, so I have opened in another window. I've actually already done the Stripe setup here, so I can see the activation. Just to show you really quickly for Stripe, for collecting payments, you can see here that this account has been connected. I can put in weight gold and whatever I put in as my payment processing name, this is what's going to show on your client's bank statement. So when they make a payment via credit card, they will see your company name on their statement. So we'll save that. And now I can go back to activation. So drum roll, as soon as I click on the button here to be able to change this from hidden to enabled, it will automatically show up on the home page of my website, unless I manually disable it. I can also follow the steps 1, 2, 3, 4 if I want to add it to additional pages on my Zenfolio site. For the purpose of today's demo, I'm going to go ahead and show it on my home page here. And I wanted to actually check one thing really fast, just on what service I have. Consultation. Okay, perfect. So now I'm going to preview my website. And as soon as my website loads, you'll notice here that I see the Book Me button down here in the bottom corner. So I can open to book a session, so I can choose from the services that I have selected. And you will also notice that I had originally changed the color to blue, but because I did that quick site change, that's why it hasn't updated here. But I'll go ahead and select a service. So let's say that I want to select the consultation. So I can see that this is going to be an in-person session, or sorry, in-person phone consultation. I'm going to discuss the details of the wedding, and it's also subject to the photographer's approval. So I'll go ahead and click on continue. And now I'm going to see availability. So as we were talking about in the example, if we had the family portrait and I was only offering them in the summer, I would only see the dates. It would jump me ahead to, I think we picked like May 25th. It would jump me ahead to May 25th and only show that availability because I did that little switch in the middle here. It's going to show me availability that I have set for this particular type of service. So I'm going to say, yes, tomorrow looks great. I'm going to set a meeting for 12:30 tomorrow. Click on continue. And this is going to be, it's saying the photo shoot address. So it's giving the studio address here. So I can say, okay, that looks good. And click on continue. If I wanted to add any notes, like we can't wait to talk to you about our wedding, click on continue. And then I would enter my contact information. Oh, we'll just actually, this is a client, so we'll pretend Jenny Smith reached out, gave us their phone number and information, and then we say, okay, all looks good. I can see in my summary that I don't owe any money today. This is just for a consultation. I can see when it's going to be, and I can see what notes I've added. So all looks good. I'm going to say, great. I'm going to go ahead and continue. Oh, what did I do? Hold on. Well, it's not supposed to do what it just did, but hold on here. Let me select, change, jump ahead here, and try this one more time. And there we go. That's what I should have seen. So if there is an issue, like you just saw really quick on a blink, if let's say that they picked a session time that was available, but then by the time they got through the booking, maybe they left their screen open and came back to it and it was no longer available, they would get an error. It would take them back to the beginning and they pick a new time. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, and now that booking is going to show up. We'll notice here now I've gone back into Zenfolio and I can see now I have a booking. So I can go under my pending shoots and I can see that there is a consultation with Jenny Smith. I can view the details of that. And when Jenny booked that consultation, two things happened. One email went to Jenny saying that she has made this reservation for a consultation. And the other one is the photographer. You would get the email saying that you now have a reservation for this consultation, and do you want to approve or decline that? So you will get all this information in an email. You can click on approve or decline from there. And then you can also, of course, come into your Zenfolio account and take a look at this. So I can see here that they didn't pay any money because it was free, and I can choose to approve or decline. So if I approve this message, I can add a little message here. So we can say, great, can't wait to talk to you. I'm going to approve this request. Now Jenny's getting that email saying that it's been approved, and I have now moved that from pending to upcoming. So now I can see this as a booked consultation. And the only other thing that I wanted to touch on really quick, I wanted to go back just to family portrait session, and I wanted to show one thing here just to give, since we gave an example of this, let's say that I changed the primary location to the client's location like we had done in the first example I showed you. I just want to show you what that looks like inside of the booking widget here. Okay, so let me do a quick refresh. And I'll just show you the difference between those two. Great, so if I were going to book a session and I chose family portrait, in this case, I can see, again, this is a reservation, that this time we're taking $10 at the time of approval. And then I'm going to click on continue. And I've got my, let's say I'm going to select, let's do Saturday. I can see what I have available and select the time. And this is where you'll see the difference here. So as far as my shoot location, as the client, now I'm going to say maybe I want to do it at a park by my house, or maybe I want it to be at my house, or I want to determine what that location might be. If you're a beach photographer and they want to choose on the beach, but if I chose a location that was outside of the radius, let's see, I'll show you here. Ooh, I picked the wrong one, hold on. Let's try that. So, there we go. I'll see, oh, why is it doing this to me? Hold on, I picked a bad example. Try this. What is happening? There we go. All right, so if I'm inside of the travel radius, I can see here that my location, if I zoom out, I'm inside the travel radius, so all is good. But if I were to choose it outside, which I'm not picking a spot that's outside of a location, outside of it, but if I chose a location that was outside of that radius, I would be able to see that it's not within inside that radius, and I'd have a message to be able to do so. I should have picked a real address that I know is outside of the radius, but you get the gist. All right. And so that, for the most part, that completes my walkthrough here. We're free to do Q&A and answer as many questions. Robert, if you want to touch on anything that I might have missed, but I think that gives everyone a full overview of BookMe.
Sure. Thank you so much, Katie. If you want to, mute your computer. Or do you have headphones?
Do I have headphones?
Yeah.
I do not.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're going to take a quick break. We'll take a second. If you guys have questions, Katie's going to hang out with us and answer them for you guys. But we're going to take about a 60-second break, and we'll come back. Oh, here we go. All right, we're back. All right, you guys. So we're going to go ahead and have Katie answer some of your guys' questions. I've been watching you guys in chat, seeing a lot of questions in there. We've got like 25 minutes left. So I'm going to stop talking. We're going to start answering your guys' questions. So the first question I have here is from Guy Raylick. He says, will this have any kind of integration with Photobooker at all?
That's a great question. So it will not have any sort of integration as far as they are two different platforms within, or two different products essentially within Zenfolio. They really serve different purposes. So I would still suggest that you sign up for both Photobooker and BookMe. Photobooker really is consumer driven, right? So it is, I look at it as a great way to fill in additional dates and to be able to meet new clients through Photobooker so that they can, explore and be able to find you through that service. So if you're wanting to get, more bookings Monday through Friday and doing like corporate work or maybe different services than you would offer on a weekend, it's a great way to supplement your income. So Photobooker is amazing in that sense. And also we're doing marketing for Photobooker to drive consumers to be able to find you. So that's the benefit on that side. BookMe is different in the fact that it is going to be on your website and allow your clients to automatically be able to book you without that back and forth conversation. But most of these clients are going to either, right, they're going to find you either from an online search and go to your website, and then they'll be able to book you directly on there. So really, or if someone were to contact you, you can say, instead of going back and forth over, oh, you can book me, I'm available on this date. Are you available on that day? Well, what works for you? You can just say, here's a link, to my website, and you can book me directly on there. So two different services, and also the customization of both is different. BookMe has a fuller feature set of customization, and Photobooker is different in the way that it's marketing to the consumer. So more limited options, making it easier for the consumer to make a decision upon coming to the website. So a little bit different. Yep.
Absolutely. And one thing I want to add too is that for Photobooker, it costs you $0. And if you don't have a Zenfolio account, you can still go in and create a Photobooker account. So I know there's a couple of people here on the chat that were asking about that. So you don't have to have a Photobooker, or you don't have to have a Zenfolio account to use Photobooker, but for BookMe, you do need a Zenfolio account. All right, next question. Let's see. This is from Stacy Markel. It says, for the calendar, can you choose what the client sees for open dates? I think you kind of answered that with your demo, but if you want to go ahead and kind of reiterate that, definitely feel free.
Yeah. So I think we touched on that, on being able to show, and we'll go to this example here, but yeah, inside of my services. Sorry, I don't know what I just did to my screen there, but we got it back. All right, so inside of my services, I can be very specific. So for wedding consultations, maybe people can only meet with me in the evening. So I'm going to set evening availability. Or maybe for family portrait sessions, maybe my clients can only meet with me in evenings or on the weekends. So kind of the same thing, Stacey. You'll be able to set your service-specific availability versus your global availability.
Perfect. All right, perfect. So next question from Kathleen Riley. Do we need to be signed up for BookMe to follow the setup? So I think what she's want to know is, do you have to add it on first and be signed up for it before you can see it in the account?
That is in fact true. So you would need to add it on in order to walk through actually setting it up. So you would either sign up for, the promotional rate of 99 cents for the 99 cents a month for the first 3 months, or the $48 for the year. Those are the two promotions that you can sign up for to get started.
Perfect. All right. Let's see. I'm moving fast because we have a lot of questions. Roxanne Bay says, how does this work with time zones? I've had issues in the past with time zones due to her travel between the different time zones.
So this is based off of the location that you set. So if your primary location is set, let's say in my particular case, I'm in Colorado, so it is Mountain Standard Time. So it's based off of the location that you have set as your primary location.
So if you travel, then you could go back in and change that location out, and then that would switch all the time zone and stuff out for you, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Let's see. Tara Castillo says, is it required to set up Stripe? I would want to continue to send my invoices separately through PayPal.
It is a requirement that you have to set up through Stripe. However, what you can do is you can very easily, you can come in here, and if you wanted to say that you're not going to collect any payment at the time of booking, but collect the full amount later, and then check the box that says, I'll send the invoice manually or collect the payment in person. So what that's going to allow the client to do is it's going to allow them to book you at no cost right then to be able to get on your calendar, and then you send them the invoice from PayPal. So you wouldn't actually be doing a transaction through Stripe, but it is a requirement to have Stripe as part of the setup.
Cool. Perfect. Brian, I'm going to pronounce the last name wrong, you guys. Make fun of me in chat. That's fine. Brian Podnos says, in addition to services, can you offer more than one photographer? To clarify, can you create a service and then have the ability to select from multiple photographers with that service?
So as of right now, it is limited to one photographer, or we should just say really one photography studio or business. And so you cannot specify which photographers, not to say that it wouldn't be a feature in the future. So something we've considered, that multiple locations to also go along.
Very cool.
With photographers. Yeah.
Perfect. Sharks408 says, can I have a shorter shoot type duration, like 2 minutes, for a mini session with Santa? You're a fast shooter if you can do a mini session in 2 minutes. Yeah. But yeah, that's a great question too.
It is a great question, and one that we have heard. So right now we're at 30 minutes, but we've done some additional user research, and we've identified that we'd really like to take that down to a 5-minute duration, and so that will be a future feature set. Okay,
great. I'm gonna mess this name up totally, but I'm just gonna say Tolg. Tolga Tunisi. I'm probably totally butchering that. What are they using to pay? PayPal, credit cards, etc. So I think the question is, when they go in there, the clients don't have to have a Stripe account to pay, right? They can pay through what does Stripe accept?
So Stripe accepts, I think we've got it in here. It is everything, including it's Visa, MasterCard. Why am I drawing? But American Express and I believe Discover. I got to double check the Discover part, but all major credit cards.
Right, and it's anything that just Stripe accepts in general. So like they can go to Stripe and just look and see what payments are accepted. Perfect.
No, I'm gonna really find that out too.
Another one from Brian. He says, "Can BookMe connect with third-party applications through Zapier?"
It cannot. Not at this moment.
Not at this moment. Great question. All right, 17 minutes left. We got a long doc. I'm going to try to keep hammering them out. Mark Fro. Hey, Mark, do you actually have a Fro? I used to have a Fro when I could grow hair. Does no commission on transactions mean no service fees? The 10% fee with no caps gets way too expensive when my clients pay for a full wedding or a portrait session through you guys.
Yeah, that means there is no additional fees. Exactly that. So if they book, they can book a session. It's the 2.9% plus 30 cents per transaction. So if it's a $100 fee, what is that? $3.10, I think, is what that equates to. My math off the top of my head works out. But yeah, that's it. There's no 10% fee, no fees on top of that for Zenfolio or for Stripe.
Awesome. Perfect. Tristina Morphus. In the future, will other payment collection options be available?
I don't have a for sure answer on that, but it would be something that we would consider if we heard a lot of feedback around that.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I always say this one wrong. Butchworks Photography. Will there be ability to create a classroom type booking in the future where photographing a group of 12 people for a 3-hour headshot of a 15 minimum each, that they are able to block their own 15-minute session? That's a really complicated question.
Cool. I love that one. I'm following along.
Yeah.
That also goes back to, we have, just for future purposes, we would love to be able to implement something like that, where it could be either a classroom type of situation if you're also a photographer and teach photography and you wanted to be able to, do that sort of booking. Or in your case, I actually love the use case that you just had, and I'm going to use that as an example. So I like that. So you're saying, maybe I have a 3-hour corporate shoot, but I want to do 15-minute blocks within that and how to accommodate for that. So no, I really like that. I'll be looking into that for sure.
Yeah, that's a great question. Absolutely. And the virtual thing too, right? Like especially right now, people doing all kinds of virtual training and things like that would be nice. Next question. This is also from Butchworks Photography. Is this going to be integrated with Photobooker? It seems there are overlaps in features.
So I think we answered that in our first question in talking about Photobooker. I don't know if we can think of anything that I missed as far as, but they will still continue to be two separate platforms, both serving different purposes. And as we mentioned, Photobooker is free, and you don't need to be a part of Zenfolio. BookMe, and you have the monthly service fee, and you do have to be a member of Zenfolio to use it on your website.
And Photobooker has Google Calendar sync as well, right? So I think
Correct.
that's the key thing that you guys are looking for, is that if you have a Photobooker account set up and you set up your Google Calendar sync, and then you do the same thing with BookMe, then they're not going to overlap bookings because everything's being connected to your Google Calendar.
That is correct. So if you have a booking that just came in for 10 a.m. tomorrow with Photobooker, it's going to block off your availability on BookMe, so someone can't book at the same time. They are in sync as far as that goes, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, let's see. Tara Castillo, are there form options to request info from the client regarding the shoot? I'm a real estate photographer, and I'll need the client to let me know where the home is located, whether the home is occupied, and how I will enter the property.
Another great question for a future feature, giving the ability. So right now we just give more of a generic notes field that they can enter, but we'd love to be able to get to where it's more of a questionnaire, and you can select the questionnaire that they can then fill out.
Yeah, I think absolutely. I mean, right now with the way it's set up, they could enter the location, and then they have that little space where they could put information, but it would be nice to have that custom form option for sure.
Yeah, be able to say, these are the details that I need, and they can fill them in.
Absolutely, absolutely. Sharks408 says, can I choose to hide the BookMe widget from my homepage and only show it on my senior portfolios or Santa Mini Sessions custom page?
Definitely. So you can follow the activation steps 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can you'll enter the website builder. You'll choose the page that you want to add it to. You'll see the BookMe activation, and just select enable on that page, and that will enable it. And then same for the home page. If you want to disable it, you would go to your home page and then go to the BookMe activation and disable it.
Perfect. Absolutely. And I'm sure I'll be showing you guys that more in the future too. So let's see. Butchworks Photography again says, is there an option to customize the terms and conditions for each shoot type of service and have a client accept them before confirming a booking?
So right now, no. That would be more of like adding a contract for terms and conditions. So right now they're accepting terms and conditions for BookMe as far as the booking goes, so you can see what those look like inside of the widget. And if you go to book a session, and when you get all the way to the end, you can see what those terms are. But we don't have the ability to add your own contract with terms and conditions.
Perfect. All right. Stephanie Valdez says, I just jumped on here, so sorry if this has been asked. Is this new booking service included in my current Zenfolio package, or does it cost additionally?
Sure. So BookMe is not included in any Zenfolio packages, or subscriptions, so you would be adding it on. We have 2 different promotions running right now. So we have 99 cents a month for the first 3 months, and then $10 thereafter. Or we have $48 for 1 year, and then $98 $96 thereafter.
Yeah.
So either 99 cents or $48. The $48 for a year is a killer deal.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, there's a link to that in the description below the video as well. So you can click on it and it will take you to the BookMe page. Go to the bottom. All the information on that's down at the bottom. All right, next question. Like 10 minutes left. We might make it through all of them. I don't know. Kyle Carnes says, what about accepting half down retainers or a percentage of the package amount as opposed to a set dollar amount?
So it's not based on percentage. Again, great suggestions and one that I'll note there. But right now it is based on but you have to set what let's say that I say it's, $1,000 for the session. Here, I am putting a dollar amount to it. And so therefore I can choose what I want to do. If I want a partial payment, I have to put in, if it's 50%, I'd have to do the math there to be like, okay, it's $500 and then the remaining amount due. So based on dollar value.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Lynn says, lots of useful and new information. Can an FAQ be prepared? I think we already have that set up, right?
Yeah, we do.
And I'm sure the mods have thrown it in the chat, but Dennis, if you guys haven't thrown the FAQ link out into the chat, can you guys throw it in the chat? And then I'll make sure to link it in the description below the video after the recording publishes. But great question there, Lynn. All right, let's see. We got like 9 minutes left. Guys, we're going to try our best to answer all of these questions, but I'm not sure if we're going to make it or not. Next question from Mark Frofro says, that name makes me laugh. Mark Frofro, will this service be a replacement for pre-order?
Will it be a replacement for pre-order? Robert, you might.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I would say no, it's not, but you probably know a little bit more about pre-order than I do. So
yeah, so pre-order, additionally, you guys, was not really created to be used to take payments for services or consultations or things like that. Since we didn't at the time have a BookMe feature like this, we kind of figured out ways that you guys could use it to do that. But by no means are there any plans that I'm aware of for pre-order to go away and BookMe to take it over, because pre-order does actually link back to normal e-commerce where you can sell pre-orders of actual packages that then can be linked to our integrated vendors to be fulfilled. So BookMe is not replacing that. BookMe is just giving you guys the option to have a calendar-based booking tool that will work better than using pre-order where you can't actually link it to a calendar. So hopefully that answered that question. Let's see, Sharks408, how many sessions can I book in a day? I'd like to book as many as I can because I like to make bank.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
So this is a two-sided answer, but here it goes. Right now, the maximum is set at 8, but I'm working to change that and to allow for no limit or a maximum of like 280 something if you were doing 5-minute durations. So it's going to be greatly increased to be able to incorporate for mini sessions, especially. And I don't have a timeline, but it is definitely on the roadmap.
Awesome. Great. Let's see, Joan, I'm going to mess the last thing up, so I'm not even going to try to take a stab in it. What if I sign up for the $48 for the year, for the first year, but I decide not to use the service the second year? Is there an early termination fee?
No, there is no early termination. If you were to sign up for $48 and at any point within the year you decided that it just wasn't a fit for you, you could cancel. It would still... Let's say you signed up today, you would still have it all the way up until, 365 days till now. So all the way up till be May 6th. And then it would be removed from your account on, that 1 year mark. Yep.
Perfect. Let's see, another one from Kyle. Can you do an electronic bank transfer or e-check?
There is, yeah. Right now, we do not have e-check capabilities. The capabilities for online payments are through Stripe.
Yep, absolutely. Roxanne or Kathleen Riley, is the 99 cents only for now, or is it whenever we start? So I guess they're kind of wanting to know the details of that promotion again.
Okay, yeah. So 99 cents starts. I don't have the expiration of how long that goes. That is a promotional rate that we came out with on launch. So I would say if it's something you're interested in, I would sign up sooner the better to take advantage of that. And you do have 3 months at 99 cents each month. So that definitely buys you some time to give it a try and see how you like it. And but it is a promotion, and promotions can be changed at any time.
It's a really good deal, you guys. I would hop on it like ASAP. For sure. All right. Jim G says, are the photography categories restricted? For example, I shoot model portraits.
Oh, no. Actually, that's a great question. So if I wanted to change my shoot type, let's say, and I was like, okay, well, it is a portrait, but I want to specify that a little differently. Let's just say I'm going to go ahead and Hold on, what did I do? Oh, I need to select a payment. All right, so what I can do here is I can save that, and once I get to this page, I can change the shoot type. So that was under portraits, and this one was consultation, but if I wanted to change that saying portraits, and I want to say like model portraits, and that instead is what I wanted to offer, then I can easily make that update. And then as you add more services, I didn't mention this either, but just for the sake of actually the purpose of showing this, let me just show you really fast. If I were to have multiple, just for this demo, let's do that. So I'm going to move, and I now have 2 services within model portraits. When I go back to my website, sorry, suddenly I have all these screens open. Go back to my website really fast, and if I refresh, you'll notice that my service screen here, it's going to change on what my services are, because now I have more than one service in each type of shoot. So now it's going to show the shoot type, and then it's going to show services within it. So you'll be able, oh, I switched between. Anyways, it would work if I
you have like 20 windows open.
Because I don't have them enabled, but if I had other services enabled, it would work. Go to the next question. I'll refresh.
Okay, yeah, I think the big takeaway is that you can customize these shoot types. What we have there is just suggestions, but you could definitely customize them to be whatever you want them to be. Sharks408, once I shoot this session, can Zenfolio send an SMS text message to the BookMe client to invite or notify them that their gallery is uploaded?
We do not have SMS text messaging yet.
Gotcha.
No, right now. Yeah.
Great.
Now you can see this is what I was trying to show.
Absolutely. So that's really cool. So again, you can customize those shoot types entirely. Okay, we've got like 3 minutes left. Guys, I'm sorry. We're not going to be able to get to all the questions, but I'm going to try to fire off at least 3 more, maybe 2 more. I think it's Candace Cooper says, Katie mentioned the out of radius notification. Is there a way to add in the back office a notification for additional costs? So I think what she's doing is asking, can we charge more?
Yeah. As of right now, no, but that is something that's also on the radar. Not sure where that will fall on the roadmap, but yeah, so no for right.
All right. Let's see. Christina Bell says, will there ever be a feature added to be able to send an electronic contract with an invoice?
I would love to see that.
Yes. I know we would all love to see that coming. Okay, let's see. 2 minutes. We might be able to get them all. I don't know. Lynn says, will BookMe appear as a separate page or a link on the homepage?
A link on the homepage.
It's that little widget.
Yeah, so you see it down here, this little widget that's right here. Then obviously you could put it on different pages on your website.
This is a good question. Jennifer says, do you have to have a Google Calendar to use BookMe?
You do not have to have a Google Calendar. However, it is preferred. But I did mention during setup for profile, we know that Google Calendar is not the only calendar solution out there. If you do have, let's say, iCloud or Apple here, if you click on this link, it will show you how to be able to link your iCloud to a Google Calendar, and then you can link to Google Cal.
Absolutely.
So a little bit of a workaround, but it will work great if you use Apple Cal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, this might be the last question. Can sample photos be displayed in the shoot types, such as events or headshots?
Right now, no. The widget, and you'll notice, and it's by design, the widget's supposed to be small and compact to be able to allow them to book. However, they'll be able to see, your own portfolios, client galleries, etc. This is really just to allow them to be able to find the actual service they want and to be able to book it.
And you could definitely set up a really cool booking custom page that has the BookMe widget that on that custom page has shoot examples and stuff on that. All right, guys, unfortunately, we're out of time. Katie, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I really appreciate your help in presenting it. I know everybody loved it, and I just want to say thank you again. You have any last-minute words?
Do I have any? No. Well, yes, sure. I will just say that this has been really fun to be able to work on and seeing it come to fruition. This has been highly requested, as I mentioned, and to really put the time and attention into it. We're really proud of the product that we have, and we're excited for all of you to get your hands on it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, thank you everybody for hanging out with us today. Lots of you guys. I'm not even going to try to shout out everybody because I will miss lots of people, but thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. Like I said, make sure that you go check out BookMe. Like Katie said, make sure you check out BookMe and go get in on that promo that we have going on right now, you guys. It's a crazy deal. You don't want to miss it. And hey, if you don't have a Photobooker account, go check out Photobooker. It's absolutely free, so there's not a reason to not do that as well. Don't forget, you guys, Site Review Tuesday coming up next Tuesday, and then again back here on Thursday for Zenfolio Live. Thank you so much to everybody who hung out with us. Make sure this weekend, today, tomorrow, sometime, maybe for the rest of your life, do something to encourage other people, build somebody up, work on yourself, and let's all work together to make this world a better place. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you guys next week. Have a wonderful weekend.